One of my favorite styles are cartoon style. And so whenever I have a client that asks me to do something that I can interpret in that style, usually I suggest it. And in this case, the client wanted a mad scientist with a syringe in his hand and a voodoo doll in the other hand, with needles and a big pair of glasses over his head. And so I thought about an old man, or like a schizophrenic one, and you can see from the eyes that one eye has an expression and the other one has another expression. And this was my idea of mad scientist, because to me a mad scientist is someone that anyway has a lot of experience in his field, and in a way or another he went out of track and become crazy, or maybe he was just crazy, it doesn't matter. But anyway, in my opinion, the mad scientist should be something like this. During the sketch, I didn't have the chance to have a feedback from my client, so I went on completing at least the pencil drawing, and I inked also the drawing. But unfortunately, after I submitted my design to my client, he looked at that and he told me, no, I want it completely evil and a little bit younger. So I changed completely the face of the scientist. So I had to redraw the face and make it a little bit younger, and with an evil expression in his eyes, always smiling, of course. I changed a little bit in the end also the glasses, because he wanted them to be bigger than that. And the funny thing about that is that about 1 year before this tattoo, I already tattooed his forearm with a sort of biomech, bioorganic stuff that remind me about something that was, I don't know, a disease with bubbles and purple and red. And because we were just in between a couple of lockdowns and there was all this madness about the COVID and so on, I decided to call that tattoo coronavirus. And then he came to me with this idea and this drawing. Here you can see I'm redrawing the design, a new interpretation of the design, because and I have to say I'm pretty happy about that. Usually it's really frustrating when a client tells you, I'm sorry, but I want to change the design because I don't like this part or that part, especially if you put a lot of energy, a lot of love in what you do, and you have to redraw everything. Well, it pisses you off. But not in this case. When I have to draw something like this in cartoony style, caricatural style, I'm really happy to do this kind of stuff. I would love to do more of this kind of design, but because having to redraw everything, it gives me the chance to make it better and to work more on my idea. I really love this stuff. Oh fuck, yes, if I love this. Anyway, I was talking about the fact that there was this kind of bioorganic on his forearm, and it was called coronavirus because it was between a couple of lockdowns and so on and so forth. And when he came with this idea, with the mad scientist, with the syringe and the vax campaign was just started, I thought, this is a mirror of times. I mean, it is completely untouched, unlinked with what was happening in the world, because he had this idea for ages, he told me, and he was just waiting for the right artist to put it in place. But anyway, it was just in the right time. it came in the right time. So that's why I called all the project Great Reset, because of course we have this kind of Hill stuff on his forum. There is a mad scientist, and then we fill the internal part of the arm with another sort of biomech, quite evil. It's just a part of a biomech full sleeve that I draw, but he liked it. He liked it in particular a detail, and he asked me to use that in the internal part of the arm. So, I mean, this arm is really a mirror of the times that we are living in. Back to the design, I inked the design with a Pentel Fuse, that is a brush pen. And if you're interested in this product, I leave you the link in the description. So if you're interested, you can get it. But after I inked my design, I scanned it. And after that, I redrew all the, let's call it the line that I will use as a stencil. Because of course, when you scan something, there is a sort of grain. It is never so black. So I prefer to redraw everything. And I did that not just because I have time to lose, but because I enjoy to draw on paper. But when I have to use colors, I like to have full control. And if you do something like that on paper, of course, if you want to change something, if you're not satisfied with the colors or anything else, you have to redo the design, redo the coloring, and so on and so forth, unless you do that on a canvas. But let's be honest, this is not a project to spend ages on a canvas. Is a tattoo, and so I have to have full control and in the less amount of time available to complete the design. So that's why I redid everything. About the color, I had full control. The client didn't have any idea, so it was up to me to choose the right design, the right colors to use, and so on and so forth. So this part became even more funnier than the first one, when you have to build your design, your character, and so on. So this was pure fun. I love to do this stuff. And I tried to give a little bit of drama, putting this cold light in the right part of the design, and a warm light. Then there was this script antisocial that has to frame on the upper side the tattoo, and of course we changed the character, the fonts, and so on to make it fit the part. And here, once again, I'm redoing the stencil, because of course I did a few changes here and there, and so I wanted to be precise. Another thing, now that I see the syringe, the fact that I had to redo the design, it was helpful, because I had the time to check a little bit my references and see that the syringe, the first one that I did, was not really correct, and it wasn't so appealing to me, so I decided to change it. And of course here I'm redoing the stencil also, because as you can see, I can use ellipses and other stuff to make the line more precise. And thinking about the voodoo doll with those needles, it made me think that could represent the public. Like, after all the restrictions and the lockdowns and so on that made them suffer, that what just happened, then another thing came, that it was this campaign that I think is mad, but anyway, it's just my opinion. And after that, here I'm cleaning my design, increasing the contrast, and so on and so forth. He wanted also the eyes that was injected with blood, and I think that is more a disease than injected with blood, but anyway, it gives you the right idea of the madness of this guy. And so, well, I don't know what else to say about this design, because of course while you're doing something, it's really difficult to explain what you're doing, especially when you do this for, I don't know, ages. It's about 30 years that I draw, so it's difficult to stop and say I did that because of this and that. But anyway, you can see also the contrast that I decided to use to make it more dramatic, with a red light coming from behind, the blue light coming from right, and another light coming from the left side. And here is pretty much the finished product. In a while you can see the finished product on his arm, and you will see also a film on his back, because we started with another project on his back. So that's all for today, and I hope you enjoy the project. Subscribe the channel, click the bell, and see you for the next project. Thank you for watching my video. Bye bye.